got kind of lucky here. This was not planned, but I was talking to my friend who's standing behind me, Dr. Churchill, and he happens to be the grandson of the great Dr. Winston Churchill. So we have a very special guest today. A lot of people don't get to meet. So please welcome with a round of applause, Dr. Churchill.
Hi.
You have to press the button.
You look like him too.
Wow. Thank you. Yes, I think that is we are stout people, like you all are. So I say that today being the day of church, I just come from church and I was glad to receive the call somehow through our good friend Liberty Jane, who knows a lot about the work that you all do, and we are together in this since we both believe in our constitutional freedoms and most importantly on the basis of this country. And I say I am the American Churchill, having had the benefit of being born here, and I certainly salute you and I say God bless and carry on and be inspired by the fact that these few people in this muddy parking lot, they represent the backbone of this country. We are together in this only because unity is what is expected of us now. And I don't just mean unity in the speechifying world of politics. I mean the simple unity that comes into your heart when you recognize that you are next to a brother, to a sister, to a parent, to a son, to a friend, and most importantly to the fact that we are all citizens. And the greatest benefit that makes me giddy in my heart to be the American Churchill as opposed to the English Churchill is that my grandfather was a subject to a queen and to a king throughout his long life. Subject to the people, of course, because he was a commoner, as I am, part of the Parliament of Commons. But I am a bit better. I am a citizen. I am no subject to no king, I'm no subject to no other authority except the God above and the people. So, we the people must recall that as citizens we have the right, not of open assembly only, and of free speech, but we have every right that's been bestowed upon us from the constitutional republic from which we sprang. None of us sprang up of this earth without rights, and that's what makes us special. The free will that's given to us by our good Creator is coupled up with the freedom that is given to us by our Constitution, crafted masterfully from our first president, George Washington, the reluctant president, the man who didn't want to be a president because he spent 8 years fighting to give us our independence, and he thought that should be plenty. He said enough blood, toil, energy, and tears, and a bit of sweat, to say enough. But then they drafted him, and he got to be the president once, and then a second time. And he said, no, I'm going home. And because he had the strength to walk away, King George of England, the third, he assumed and he said, if George Washington walks away from that august office of the presidency, he'll be the greatest man in history. And of course George walked. And that is what it's all about. So this last time we had another president who walked away honorably. And I feel proud for this process of transition, because in my heart of hearts, I believe the president should not be politicking. Once you get to that office, have one term, and then be gone. So you spend your time during 4 years doing the work of the country and not hoping to be elected again. And that's why term limits are important in all the offices, and short-term limits, because you know, here in America, I hear we have a deep bench. We've got a lot of good people who can go and take the job and do it better than the last one, because we get smarter, we get more evolved, and above all else, we are also aware that the next leader who would represent us would be much better than the last one. I don't need to tell you why, but I wanted to simply share with you my feelings. I am a Washingtonian. This is my school. I'm a Husky. This is my alma mater. And I was born on the other side of the freeway in a little town called Wallingford. Ha ha ha. Walking distance from here. I biked many times, to this school, and I love it. And here we are all again in the parking lot of this great, awesome school that has the benefit of having the best medical school in the country, if not the world. The best computer science school in the whole country, if not the whole world. We have a lot of tops, in this school, and we should be proud of it. Now, of course, we ought to remember that this great education that we receive is who we are. And here we are today to say that we must be particularly blessed to have this opportunity of thinking about education, because this is what we ought to focus on. We have to educate ourselves better in all the subjects of leadership, which is important, citizenship, which is even more important, but ultimately also about the arts and sciences, and about the civic duties, and about the civil rights, and about the human rights, and everything else that makes us true patriots. So when we come and we get together and we speak, and I trust that every single one of you is willing to give up their blood, for this country, for this soil. I am the same. I feel the same way. Because if we are not willing to give up something to enjoy the greatest freedom the world has ever known, and to maintain this place, which is by far the best hope there is for the world, then we might end up being, like communist China, into which, people are enslaved, their organs are harvested without their will, and other awful things might happen.
Down with the CCP.
Down
Indeed.
with the CCP, yes.
Indeed. And since we have some people here who might have an opinion that CCP might be a good thing for us, we ought to go to school and perhaps learn how to teach them that it is not the choice of the many that defines the life of the few, but it is rather the rights of the few, the minorities amongst us, the ones who have alternate voices and opinions that have to be respected in order for us to have a mighty country. And this is where I step in and I say, I have been a victim of attacks by people who do not like to hear my voice, or maybe they don't like my charming personality and my baby face, I don't know. But we all have enemies. And of course, if you do nothing, you have no enemies. If you sleep all day, you watch Netflix and whatever, of course. But if you go out and you do God's work and you try to fight for the Republic and you try to engage with the world, you will have enemies. So I understand that you feel persecuted in these days. I know fully well. But you are going through a time of trials and tribulations. But if anything, that makes you stronger. It makes you able to weather the storm, and then the next time around you will be far better able to voice any opinion you have, that is just. And most importantly, any thought that you have that has merit to support our republic to go forward. So in asking of you something is what I always demand. Look around you, look to the person next to you, and say thank you. Thank you for joining up as a citizen in us
everybody for being here.
making a simple assembly of citizenship that has all the colors that I can recognize and has all the different variables of people. And this is what makes America great, that we respect each other. And we don't have violence in our heart against anybody, but we give love when we are being diminished. We give love when we are being attacked. We give love when we are being dismissed. And we give some love, to other people who have not gotten to the level of understanding and education that you have. You know more than the average person who consumes the news all day long. You know more than the average person about the Constitution. I know in my heart of hearts that you know more about God than the average person out there. Don't be afraid, to carry on. We have to carry on the struggle. What life is without the struggle? You have to fight in order to win. We are accustomed to that. I have been a victim, that I got attacked, they broke my head just because I was giving a speech like that, and there were people who didn't like it in a particular place. But still I am here today speaking to you. And by the grace of God, I'm alive and I'm able to make an impact in your lives. So please be mindful. We are here for love. We are here to share with everybody. We are here to engage. And we are here, most importantly, to keep reminding ourselves and then all others that we are citizens of this land, as American, as apple pie, A bit of ice cream on top, you know. Maybe a cherry if you have it. We call it apple pie à la mode. It sounds French, but we've taken that completely here. So in my particular, linguistic idiom, I believe it makes me more friendly and appealing to you. And beyond all, the shield of our country, the protection we have, is none other than e pluribus unum. That means in Latin, out of many, we are one. So God bless you and God bless America. The American Churchill stands with you every time. Feel free to reach out. We're going to support you. I stand for you. God bless you all and God bless America.
Hallelujah!
Do you have any other messages for us?
Do you have any other messages you'd like to share about the next few years and what we need to do to get busy?
Well, we have a lot of messages. Oh, some people here, they are trying to convince me to run for the United States Senate on behalf of our state. I am considering it. If you give me a sign of support, I just might do it. You want me to do it? Okay, you say. You want me to. I hear you. You want me to. Well, if you want me to, I don't take much convincing. I will run. But you have to do your duty. You have to support me and I support you. I stand for you, you stand for me. We do it together. A big hug to everybody. Come on, communal hug. Don't be afraid. Come on, Dave. Come on. Come on, come on. Let's go to Recall America. A big hug, everybody. Violin. Come on, come in, everybody. Get on in. We take a photograph now. We take a big selfie. Everybody. Open up the circle a little bit so we can see your face, my friend.
Open up the circle. Join in,
Open up, everybody.
Join in.
I mean,
Grab a part of the circle.
everybody, join up, you guys. Open up, my friend.
Open up.
Open up.
Pull
Yeah,
back.
yeah. Pull
You guys go over
out.
there in the
Excellent.
circle. Get in the circle.
So we get everyone.
Come on, get in.
Okay.
Get into the
Oh, long sign. Say a patriotic song. Come on, you know how to
We
sing.
want to have a mention
Yes.
for Dr. Churchill.
Yes, it is.
Down with the CCP.
And by the grace of God, we'll be together in the other Washington.
Make
We're
America
all
great
invited.
USA!
After 2022.
USA! 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 USA!
May the grace of God be upon us and upon you and your families always, and upon our country, our community, our university, and our town.
Amen.
And don't forget, we have to fight to win anything in life.
And we're very short on time to fight.
Oh no, time is given by God. He's the arbiter of time and life. We trust Him. But do come along. I stand for you, you stand for me. We can make it happen. God bless you all. And feel free to call me in. I'll come, and on a quick notice like this, I will appear. This guy knows how to get rich. And I'll come and support you, whatever you need.
Hey, Jane,
But we got to
I'd
stand
like you to go
together.
over here and say a few
Unity.
words too, please.
Unity. His grandson from the son, from his son Randolph.
So, because some of you guys don't know, this is Jane, and she has a Chinese name, but we call her Jane. And Jane is a survivor of the Tiananmen Square massacre in China. For those of you that don't know, Jane, you want to speak here or there? It's up to you. Gonna have to hold it down so it doesn't whistle.
Ladies and gentlemen, every day I'm in America, enjoy freedom. It's because of this great country have our Constitution to guarantee every one of our U.S. citizens all have our freedom of speech, freedom of assembly. That's why we are, and freedom of publication, and also freedom of religion choices.
Yes. Amen.
I love America. Probably you don't even understand me. Every day I enjoy it. It's so precious to me. It is because this is my second life. I was almost killed in Tiananmen Massacre during the 1989, the CCP regime crashing down on Chinese democracy in Beijing, Tiananmen Square. There was millions of people on the street, just like millions of people were in Washington, D.C. and everywhere else in different cities. Why people get together? Because we all want freedom.
That's right. Amen.
This freedom is not money can buy.
That's right.
This is the freedom so precious, we'd rather die for it.
That's right.
But it is not for some of those corrupted officials in Washington, D.C. or somewhere in Olympia.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
That's
Brought out by
why
the CCP.
we shall keep fighting.
Yeah.
But this fight, it's a different fight. It's not for gun. It's not by tanks. It's by high tech and media takeover.
That's right.
The CCP
Political takeover.
has over 75,000 of underground branches, including the United States.
That's right.
They have news agencies, for example, Xinhua News Agency, and Confucius universities or Confucius institutions in our Washington.
That's right. And if I
And-
can say something about that, President Trump signed a bill to stop that in the universities or they'd lose funding.
Right.
And the new resident in office just signed to let it continue.
We made a gathering. I spoke about that shutting down UW Confucius University right over there last year. And then right after my speech, somebody come up to me and say, they are ending their contract. They are leaving. They are leaving. But where did they go? They're still in Washington State. They went to Pacific University, which is another private university. How do we allow this to happen?
Right.
If the spy is not here, then they are there. And why Biden allowed this 5G and Confucius universities and Huawei and all those black hands stickers from China? And why is that? Who is taking the advantage of those illegal actions?
That's right.
And against our citizens, against our freedom of speech, against our constitution rights. Who are those? They are traitors of the United States. They are selling themselves, selling their heart, selling our freedom, and we shall not allow that to happen. We shall fight till we win, and people's rights win. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, Jane. We love you. Thank you very much. And right now, I and other people are working to help Jane rewrite our Constitution and Bill of Rights for Free China, so that they have an initial document to start with. And she is one of the key leaders of the China Human Rights Association and the Free China Army.
And please visit us at www.freeourchina.com.
And it's
Thank you.
important, you guys, who does not think we're at war?
Oh, yeah.
Anybody? No, I didn't think so. We are at war with China, okay, and not the people. We're at war with the Communist Party. They have a lot of beautiful people there, but they've been subjected to many years of oppression and brainwashing.
Same here.
But there's a huge move. Yeah, of course, it's happening here just like there. Just not that far along yet, but almost. But there's many beautiful people there that have experienced some freedom, and they've learned about it, and they've heard about it, and there's a movement. But now we need to help them. This war that we're in, we have to work it from both sides. We have to work it from inside China, just like they're doing to us, and outside China. Otherwise, we can't win. So we have to support people that are driving that charge for freedom in China. So please think about that. Get the word out. Educate your families and your friends, and let's get this movement moving forward.
Are they the ones that have the petition? I signed a petition.
Yeah, there is a movement for end CCP.
Yes, okay. I signed
And
that petition,
we have a website, and later I will let you know more. And also on March 12th, there's an event in Olympia. I hope you can join. And every year, Chinese Democracy and Human Rights Alliance, which is our organization here, established from Seattle. And so every June 4th, around that day, for the anniversary of Tiananmen Massacre, we organize an event. And it could be in the UW or somewhere else. And I hope, sister and brothers, we need your help. We need support each other for our freedom.
That's right.
China, United States, and everywhere. Thank you.
Just like we're doing here today with our flags and our MAGA drag, the more we show support for these people that are fighting for freedom in China and keeping freedom here in America, the more we show support for them, the bigger the movement gets. The less afraid their people become, because they see there's people out there that want to help them and hold the hand out when they're down and not let the CCP crush them.
And
this
give them
is
some
super
love.
important.
It's very important. It's love that we are spreading today.
Yep, we've
So
done
our
that.
love, it resonates with everyone else. And peace. Peace is huge. Don't forget, we are going through another time now that some people in government, the military industrial complex, they want us to engage in another set of wars in the Middle East, Syria and other places. We want none of that. We have problems here that we need to fix. And the only way they deflect the attention of the big problems that we have with this biological warfare we've been facing the last year, they take away the attention of the real enemy we've got by sending our people to shed blood in the desert for zero interest. So peace is something we have to speak about. We are going to organize rallies about peace, because at this moment, and thank God this last president, with all his shortcomings, he was the first one in the last half century to not start another war. That speaks a lot to me and to my heart. I'm also a veteran, and I know that we don't need to be fighting in the midst of the Arabs, you know, for their little feud that they have. Let them sort their own. We have no dog in those awful battles. Let's solve our problems here, and let's face the real enemy we have, which is across the Pacific. It's not on the other side. But a lot of politicians, like the magicians, they say, watch here, Russia, Middle East, Syria. Meanwhile, the other hand, you know, is doing the business on you, and you don't even know it. So we've got to be aware, be smart. Tonight, we have a little radio show. We're going to invite your voices. At 6 p.m., we have the Human Rights Hour and Democracy, of course. It's here on Hubbard Radio. I will send an invitation to Dave, and he will pass it on to all of you. You can listen. If you are moved, you can call in, and we aim to enlarge that. Human rights, not just about China, about everywhere. Human rights right here. Because without the basis of human rights, we don't have civil rights.
That's right.
My human rights were violated when I was hit on the head by the Antifa while I was giving a speech inside Microsoft. Civilized place, you think, well protected, expensive security. None of it was made available to me because the people were crazy at that time. It was right after, you know, this past president, the 45th, had been inaugurated, and the people went ballistic because they lost their little hobby horse. The hobby horse they had, you know, didn't get into the stable. Somebody else occupied, and that was good for us. That lady, she had started 11 wars in North Africa and the Middle East without anybody's approval.
Wow.
Just to make money, you know. Have your bank account 50 billion in Switzerland. The lady is wealthier than Bill Gates, but that's another story. And what did we do? We just said, we want peace, we want freedom, we want the ability to be safe in our homes, to be able to speak to each other.
That's right.
We are all kind faces, you know. I trust nobody cares to attack me because I speak, and you should
Hey guys,
keep it that
watch
way.
out for this car. You don't know
So,
what they're going to do.
we have always had one thing in mind, and that's love, peace, and understanding, because without those three things amongst us, we can't have unity.
That's right.
And the thing we need the most is unity. So I wanted to invite you to support the simple idea. No matter the politics of the other people around us, we reach out and we give them a hand in love. Because we've got to be
We got to change our mind.
united. E pluribus unum. That's how we live and that's how we die. Out of many, we are one. And that you will remember. If anything, Churchill stands for E pluribus unum. Out of many, we all become one. Like the giant hug we were able to say, let's do that with everybody we meet. And you know, COVID be damned, you know, when you hug, you're feeling better. Okay? Your immunity system works up, you know, you're gonna be really good. Don't pay attention to those harpies. They don't know what they're talking about. I'm a public health doctor, I assure you. That's why Dr. Churchill. We are okay. We have to be united. This is the grandest gift we can give to each other. That's why I feel so strong. And don't forget to pray devoutly and show up and speak stoutly. We have to work on this thing to win.
That's right.
And you got to convince me a little bit stronger the last time again. Tell me, should I run for you? Yes! Should I run for you? On behalf of all of you, on behalf of our state, of our home, of our university, of America? You tell me, should I?
Yes.
And you keep with me. Every single one of you, you're going to stand with me. Okay. Let's do it. Let's go get them.
And each one of you
God bless
needs
you,
to
sir.
go home to your
Thank you very much.
communities
Thank
and
you.
become a leader in the
you, thank
movement.
you.
Each one of you in your little towns, Enumclaw, you know,
We got to do
Lacey,
this. God bless you,
you know,
dear.
Yell,
Thank you.
wherever
God
you
bless
live,
you.
you got to go home,
God bless.
become a leader
You
in
guys
your
are
community,
beautiful.
get people
God bless
together.
you, my dear. God bless you. Thank you. God bless you, brother. Thank you. God bless you, brother. Thank you, dude. God bless. God bless you, sister. Thank you.
God bless, brother.
Blessings, brother.
Appreciate you.
Carry it on, pass it on, keep hugging each other. We need more hugs, you know, to be alive.
Super spreader!
Oh no, we're gonna die in 2 days. Come on.
Spreading the love.
What's that?
Thank you. God bless. Spread the love.
Spread the road out.
Yeah, man, we're okay. You know, God wants us to come together again. Unity. We can't be divided. Divided, we cannot stand. Together, we stand.
Divided it was what we were taught.
Divide and conquer. So we should stop that nonsense.
That's right.
Let's unite again. It's our time. And God is wishing upon us His blessing today to allow us to hug. So God bless you all, and I'll see you soonest. And this evening at 6 p.m., you'll give them the link.
Yep.
We get together. Power. Power, bro. Three-way. God bless. God bless.
Bye, Jane. Take care, okay?
So he talks before.